When you're investing, do you know what type of investor you are? Do you have an idea of what makes you successful? You know, this is very similar to when you're dieting or you're creating a health plan for yourself. You know, like me, if the cookies are in the house, if the chocolate's in the freezer, yep, I put chocolate in the freezer, I love it. But if there's chocolate in the freezer, I'm gonna eat it. My wife knows this. I am not good at having it around. If it's not there, I won't eat it. Won't even think about it. Don't miss it at all. But if it's in the house, I'll eat it. She won't eat a thing. She can put it right in the pantry, right in the freezer, right in the fridge. It could be under her nose. She'll never touch it. We're two different types of eaters. Obviously, I'm the kind of impulsive one that really likes things that taste awesome. And she is more meticulous and planned than I am. And we're both pretty meticulous and planned, by the way. So pretty different levels. But here's how it matters when you're investing. If you're the kind of investor that needs to have the money set aside every month to make sure that it's going into the right areas and it's dollar cost averaging in so you don't see it, you need to make sure you're doing that without actually seeing the money come in. That's something you have to set up for success. I knew at a young age that we were struggling to make it and to build our lives together and doing all the things that young couples do, buying our first home and stretching ourselves in different ways. I knew that if I just set up my 401k to have it go in, I'd be successful. Man, I sure am glad I set that up all those years ago to be automatic. You know, David Bach wrote a book called The Automatic Millionaire. I'm pretty sure it's a New York Times and Wall Street Journal bestseller. Phenomenal book, but it just says make things automatic. It's pretty simple. It's a great book, but it really says automate your finances. Automate the things you need to do. Never have we been in a time period in our lives where it's easier to automate. You know that if you're the type of investor that needs to be forced to save, make it automated. Set it up so that it's automatic. Maybe you're the type of investor that can't watch it all the time, okay? And these are not like, I'm not creating a name for each type of investor. I'm just talking to whoever it is that we are. We're all these different types of investors, right? A lot of people can't watch it. If you watch it every day, you get consumed. You watch the up, you watch the down, you try to time it just right. And you always seem to find yourself with short-term successes and long-term failures. You know, right now we're watching a lot of that happen. And there's a lot of great things happening and a lot of short-term successes. Hopefully you're paying attention to the type of investor you are. If you're the type of investor that gets addicted to the game and the winning, don't forget losing comes with that as well. It's important to make sure you're putting hay in the barn. You're putting some money aside. Make sure that you're going in and understanding your personality. When I go to Vegas, I know I don't like to gamble. I don't like to lose. So I don't put myself in that kind of position. I'm the kind of investor that knows I don't like to lose. So I make sure that I'm aware of the investments and the risk that go with that. The other thing that I think is important, and we have to be careful not to make excuses. Some people are the kind of investor that just says, I don't do that because I don't understand it and I don't want to learn it. And you know, that's not always the most successful strategy either. I'm not giving a level of acceptance here to being ignorant at learning new things. If you're 35 years old and you're like, I only invest in CDs because I know it's in the bank and I can look at it every day, you got to grow. You got to probably figure out a new strategy. Maybe that's the right strategy for you. Doubtful, but I will tell you, that's also just not trying to learn something new. If you're the type of investor that really wants to grow and grow your investments, you have to grow with what we know. We have to grow with what we learn. We have to continue to collect the data and be more educated about what's in front of us. And that strategy may be good if you're having to pay a bill off in 3 months or 6 months, but it's not the strategy that you execute upon if you're trying to save for retirement, right? So understanding if you're the kind of person that's impulsive and you love every company you've ever seen, you can't invest in every company you've ever seen. So you have to start to narrow it down. Maybe have a third party that you're talking to. These are all things that we learn. What do they all come back to? the self-awareness of knowing what kind of investor you are. They really come back to having a level of self-awareness to know how you can be the strongest at investing possible. How are you going to be successful at your strategy? I don't know what that strategy is, and I'm not telling you that one is perfect and there's only one way to do it. What I am telling you, though, is that know yourself. Know what makes you successful. Know that if you're addictive and impulsive, put some hay in the barn along the way. Have a plan, a long-term plan. If you're really, really, really conservative and you like to watch it all the time and you're super nervous, find someone who can help guide you. Find someone who can help guide the decisions you make so that you have some support and some education along the way. When we know who we are, we can be a lot more successful in life, in investing, in everything. So, what type of investor are you? Are you nervous? Are you impulsive? Are you excited? Do you want to invest in everything? Do you have to set it and forget it? These are all different types of investors, and I'd love to hear what type you are. Share below and tell me your story. Tell me what makes you successful as an investor. Thanks for joining me. I'm Scott Danner.